Hello everyone, it's great to see you again. Welcome back to LogiMAT 2019 here in Stuttgart, Germany. And of course, welcome to our Jungheinrich booth. Now my name is Thomas and I am standing right in front of the largest truck that Jungheinrich has on display here, and that is the brand new Jungheinrich EFG Series. Now joining me this afternoon is also Jungheinrich expert Greg Mason. Hey, how are you doing?
Hello Thomas, I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Oh, just amazing. Last day, how did you enjoy the fair so far?
Yeah, it's really impressive. This is my first time to a LogiMAT coming from the US. And I didn't know what to expect, but the attendance here, especially in the Jungheinrich booth, has been through the roof. Really impressive.
Well, that was pretty much my experience. Now, maybe you can give us a nice and crisp introduction on this amazing new truck here. What is the EFG series all about, and what makes it a great companion for in and also outside use?
Yeah, so what's interesting about the Jungheinrich EFG product line is we've had for many years, over decades, an electric pneumatic solution, which is a product that is designed specifically for handling products inside the warehouse, as well as going outside and working in the environment, whether it's snowing, raining, it doesn't matter. We've always had a good solution from 1 ton up to 5 tons, but we've been missing the really heavy, high-capacity trucks. This 6 Series truck answers that need, which is from 6 tons to 9 tons capacity. If we're going to speak in imperial units, we're talking about 12,000 pounds to 18,000 pounds capacity in an electric truck. That's remarkable.
All right, well, let's have a look at the heart of the truck first, and that is definitely the heavy-duty hydraulic block that makes the truck extremely versatile and offers a whole lot of options to your customers, right?
Yeah, for sure. So not just the hydraulic block, but let's talk about the whole mast, right? So this thing is a maximum 9,000 pound or 9,000 kilogram capacity mast, lifts up to 7.5 meters. Let's call that round about 24 feet, 24 and a half feet, which is substantial, right? At a 600 or a 900 millimeter load center in imperial units, that'd be 24 inches or 36 inches. It's really hard when you get to 9 tons to pack that much mass in a small area, so an extended load center is important. But this truck in particular happens to be equipped with a side-shifting fork positioner, which allows the forks to move closer together or further away from each other, or side shift entirely for really precise positioning of the product, which is important when you're handling, for an example, a large load such as this. But a single side-shifting fork positioner is not the only attachment you can put on here. We can have up to 4 additional hydraulic attachments or functions on the truck, which allows us to use rotating bail clamps, paper roll clamps, single double attachments. It doesn't matter, right? So in the heavy-duty material handling world, you have to have flexibility, and certainly this truck has that.
Yeah, and that's quite amazing. Even though it's so powerful, energy consumption is quite low because there's a new engine implemented here in this truck. What kind of engine is that, and what kind of advantages does it bring along?
Yeah, it's a good point. I'm going to go back to something else for a moment. So what's one of the foundations of Jungheinrich design is energy efficiency and performance. With every new generation of product, we have to do 2 things. Can't sacrifice one for the other. We have to have better performance, and we have to have better energy efficiency. Well, our previous generation trucks were so energy efficient already that we couldn't stick with today's or former technology, right? So the newest motor technology that's in the marketplace is a Reluctance Motor technology, and this is a Reluctance AC motor is what is in this truck. This improves our energy efficiency to meet our benchmarks that we're looking for.
Yeah. Well, as we mentioned at the beginning, this truck here is, believe it or not, fully electric, and that means it has a huge battery, and I think we should have a look at the battery compartment on the other side of the truck.
Absolutely.
Now, this is actually the lithium-ion battery version, but there's 2 options. So the customer could either go for lithium-ion or also for lead-acid. Depends on what he uses it for, right?
Yeah, so there's a lot of interest in a lot of people talking about lithium-ion technology, but by far the most common battery type that's used in the industry is still lead-acid, right? So you have to have a lead-acid solution. Every single truck that Jungheinrich builds now is lithium-ion capable, for sure, but the vast majority of trucks that we sell are still sold with lead-acid batteries. So you look at this battery, and yeah, it's massive, right? This is the full-size battery. This weighs 3,500 kilograms. It's a pretty heavy battery. We also have a shorter version, which allows us to shorten the truck by about 18 centimeters, which doesn't seem like a lot, but if you've spent any time in the booth, the Jungheinrich booth this week,
I know,
knowing that you can scoot yourself in a little bit helps with the maneuverability, right? So that's important, even with a big truck like this. If we can keep it a little bit shorter, we want to do that so that the operators and the movement of the product is as efficient as possible. But back to the battery. So if we have a lead acid battery in the small compartment, it's about 1,250 amp hours capacity. We can put a heavy duty battery into that raises that amp hour capacity to 1,400. Yeah. If we go with the full size battery, we start at 1,400, and then the super battery goes to 1,550. If we decide the customer decides they want to have a lithium ion battery, then the capacity is 1,250. But one of the advantages of lithium ion is you can really recharge it very, very rapidly. So we can use a 1,250 or smaller amp hour capacity. It has an effective amp hour capacity of 1,180 or so, but we can recharge it so fast that you really don't ever have to change that out. That's the advantage, and the idea behind lithium ion is get rid of changing batteries.
Yeah. Exactly. By the way, well, just in case you went for the lead acid battery version, how long would it take to exchange those batteries?
Yeah, so the key for changing out a battery here, especially a lead acid battery, one is you can notice that this door opens wide open. It's a full 180-degree opening for this. Gives me plenty of space, and with a big battery like this, I have to have that space. But in order to change this out, you see these openings at the bottom of the battery. That's where what we would call the fork pockets. This is where you would bring in another forklift that's capable. It has to have at least a 3,000 kilogram or 3,500 kilogram capacity to lift this out. Or we have actually designed a specific pallet mover type of truck, or we should call it a battery mover at this point, since that's what it's designed for, that comes in and can remove that battery and replace it for you. That total time depends on how far you have to move to put the battery away, but it would be a 5 to 10 minute range.
Well, this obviously is the lithium-ion battery version, and I think we should close this compartment again and have a look at the charge socket, which is actually in the rear of the truck. So how do we get access to that?
So yeah, this is pretty cool. I have to say, no one suspects this, and this is an option available not only with lithium ion, it's actually standard with lithium ion, but it's an option available for lead acid as well. We call it a comfort charge option, and what you do is you press the back Jungheinrich cover there, and it reveals the battery connector. Exactly right. In this is called comfort charging because I don't have to open the door and disconnect the battery connector there. I just take the battery charger, plug it into this connector, and the charging starts automatically.
Now what we're seeing here right above the connector is a camera, and we also see this large screen here. Well, obviously this large screen is for display purposes only here at the fair. It usually doesn't sit there, but what it does, it mirrors the screen that we have installed inside, and this is a new assistance system called Added View. What is that all about?
That's exactly right. Well, you can imagine you're sitting up in the air here in the cabin as an operator. You don't necessarily see the small things that are sitting around the perimeter of the truck. So we want to put on this added view camera system so the operator really has a bird's eye view or a plan view of the surroundings of the truck. But when we get a chance to get inside the cab, we'll take a look at what other capabilities this camera system has for the operator.
All right, well, let's do that. Let's have a look at the operator workspace. Let's shut this again here. And I'll just climb up there. And
all right, I'm going to follow in right behind you.
The first thing one notices here is that you have a ton of space. This is comfortable.
It is comfortable, and this cab stays the same size whether you're talking about a 6,000 kilogram or a 9,000 kilogram truck.
All right. So what kind of adjustments can we make here? First of all, we have the armrest that moves back and forth, obviously.
Yep,
it moves up and down.
Exactly right.
And the cool thing is that once you adjust the seat, which is connected to the armrest, it kind of moves with it, which is pretty good. All right, then what else do we have? Here we have the 2-pedal version, but there's also a 3-pedal version. Why is that?
Yeah, so this is laid out very similar to an automobile. You have a gas pedal, or an accelerator pedal, we should say, since it's an electric truck, and a brake pedal. Some operators or some customers prefer to have one accelerator pedal that accelerates in the forward direction and one pedal for reverse travel, and that would be the 3-pedal design.
Okay, now looking up here, we can see the screen that we just saw outside, and this is the added view, which means now it's set to split screen, which means that we're looking right in front of the truck, and we're also seeing the truck from above, and then we can kind of shift through and look at all these different views. So that is the one from above, where like all those cameras are kind of calculated together, and they just give you one large picture, and there's our cameraman.
That's exactly
right. How are you doing?
Exactly.
All right, that's great. Now, we have another display here. Down there. What is that all about?
Yeah, so this is the traditional truck display. This is where you would see the parameters of the truck, energy capacity, its remaining, etc. And what's unique about this particular display is it's the latest generation, and it has Bluetooth integration. So you have the ability as an operator to pair your mobile phone to that. You can control your mobile phone through the display or even through the push buttons that are on the armrest. Also, you have the ability, there's a USB charger there, you can plug in your phone and charge it. And there's actually a pretty cool option available with this particular truck. It's called the sound option, which puts in the speaker package, and you can play your MP3 songs from your iPhone through the speakers in the truck.
Which means after 8 hours, you don't want to get out.
That's exactly right.
All right, there's one last thing that I would like to mention as I'm looking at the screen now. There is another really cool assistance system, and that is called zone control. What is zone control about?
Yeah, actually zone control is available throughout the product line, and it's really important for customers who are trying to manage the potential for any impacts from one truck to another, or especially with respect to pedestrians, right? We don't have a lot to show here now, but the idea is we put a sensor on the truck, and all pedestrians, all trucks would have these sensors on them, and the system has anchor points, what we call, around the warehouse, and the anchor points allow us to alert operators when there's a truck nearby, so the operator becomes more aware, and it also makes the driver more aware that there's somebody in the area, so they become more careful. It reduces the risk of any injuries to anything.
All right. Well, now, unfortunately, this is the third and also last day of the fair. What was your customer feedback that you've collected so far?
Yeah, you know, from every person I've talked to, whether it's a Jungheinrich salesperson or a customer coming to see the trucks in the first place, this truck in particular, but really everything, there's a really high level of excitement. It was unbelievable to me how many people came through our booth every single day. Everybody leaving with, you know, eyes wide open, big smiles on their face, and almost drooling because they're out of anticipation.
Thank you so much, Greg Mason. Thank you very much for joining.
My pleasure, absolutely.
All right, everyone. So this was unfortunately our last Facebook Live session, and yeah, we have to say goodbye for now. But if you guys have any further questions regarding this truck here, or the entire EFG series, or any other truck that we have on display here at LogiMAT, please do not forget to drop your comments and questions down there, and we'll once again try to answer everything as quickly and as precisely as anyhow possible. Now, thank you very much for joining. Sadly, last one, but I hope to see you guys again maybe next year at LogiMAT 2020. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye.